All right, so welcome to coverage of the Community Cup here. We're watching Paul Cheon, and make it short here, he took Deranged Hermit, pack one, pick one. A nice pick up here, a real bomb in this format, and he's got an interesting second pack here. There's a bunch of good cards, actually. Grizzly Fate, Beetleback Chief, Karmic Guide are all excellent. Expunge, also a very nice card. Solar Blast does some work, too.
I think Karmic Guide's so good here.
Getting back to Deranged Hermit?
Yeah, how ridiculous is that,
That's
right?
insane.
And green-white is one of the best color combinations you can get in the format. And
You're totally right.
Want to be auras-based, but yeah, he's looking at the Karmic Guide as well.
Yeah. Some really powerful stuff in this pack. Beetleback Chief being a really nasty card for limited, but I agree with you, Randy. I think that green-white is where you want to be. Third pick, Mana Vault here. He wasted no time clicking that. Also, there's not a ton for him in this pack, but...
Right.
So it looks like the first pick out of this pack was actually a Flame Tongue Kavu, which makes sense. Would you take Kavu over Mana Vault?
I would.
Me too.
Yeah,
Kavu's
pretty
the
ridiculous.
best. But Cheon's got to be pretty stoked after picking 2 5-drops to pick up a Mana Vault third here.
True story.
Not too bad. So, Randy, talk us through the green-white strategy. What does that look like generally for VMA?
So the green-white auras deck is what everyone calls it. What you really want to get is cheap creatures, and then there's a lot of super good creature enchantments in the format. Elephant Guide is one of the superstars. You know, sometimes you can get Imperial Armor, and then there's cards that have synergy with that, like the various phantom creatures in white are just literally unkillable if you can put in a creature enchantment on them that boosts their power and toughness. Dreampod Druid is the uncommon you're looking for in that deck, and Paul's in that color combination with the Karmic Guide and the Deranged Hermit, but not specifically into an Auras deck yet, so it'll be interesting to watch how this plays out. Now, he's looking at Deathgrasp.
Yeah, he took a Deathgrasp, but there's not a whole lot going on for him in that pack, so he just took, I think, the card that he deemed the most powerful.
He may be looking at Deranged Hermit as not working out. Like, he's not getting green. He could go Predatory Night Stalker here and go into the, like, black-white, blow stuff up, sort of super value deck.
He could. Yeah, it looks like that's where he's going to go, Randy. He's selected the Night Stalker. He could take the Brindle Shout, but, like, that card's just not that great.
Yeah. You don't want to start that card. I mean, it's good in the Goblins matchup, but it's the kind of thing you want to pick up late and put in your sideboard.
All right, here's Realm Seekers, which is also really not that great. It's fine. Like, you can run it as a 6, but you can do a lot better. I mean, look at that. There's a Fire Blast, a Deep Analysis.
Nobody's in blue is what I get out of this pack.
Yeah.
There's not really a Goblin player either.
What would you take here?
Wow.
I would take Deep Analysis, yeah. Oh, it looks like he might have switched over.
Yeah, not Realm Seekers.
I think... Oh, that's cool. I like that shot, Rashad. That's good. Yeah, so you see Paul? This is why he's not at his screen.
card,
He's got 20 seconds.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, he's got 20 seconds. And I actually had a long chat with Paul last night about this.
Wow.
Because we were talking about it. When I was in the Community Cup, Luis Scott Vargas was here, and he is excellent at quickly deciphering things like that. And Paul said that's not his style. He said he's a lot more like, I play my match, I get my head into it, and so he's having to kind of push a little bit. He did go for the Deep Analysis, and he picked up a Killer Whale next, and now a Chainer's Edict. So it looks like he's actually moving over away from the Deranged Hermit into maybe a blue-black control-ish list.
Right. Is he abandoning the white also? Not playing the Karmic Guide would be kind of sad.
That would be a bummer.
And the Deathgrasp. Yeah, this
is getting a little ugly, actually. Like, look at his picks. Like, he's kind of all over the map here. I think he's hoping for something to sort of solidify him. And nothing's really coming. Benevolent Bodyguard seems to be the pick here.
You know, the other thing that that might be going on here is that he knows who's in this pod, right? He's literally he's helping his teammates, so he knows what colors they're in. And maybe like, well, nobody else is going to draft blue. Maybe I got to be the blue mage.
Sure.
And the blue did seem to be flowing.
Because one thing that we have to remember about this is that they're in the same pod, and they can also look at each other's screens.
Right.
So
you kind of see the packs coming.
Yeah, in fact, floating. We can't hover over them, but if you look on the left where it says draft table, they can look and just say, okay, I'm passing to you, you're passing to this other person on our team, let's chain together 4 picks in a row. You know, so some of the picks he makes might look a little odd, but it could be because he's hooking up one of his teammates that he's actually passing to. Fledgling Jin now for Paul.
Yeah, I've been watching the draft of Mike Turian on my computer a little bit, and it's kind of interesting there. He first picked a Battle Screech.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and then followed it up with a Flame Tongue Kavu. So off to a spectacular start. But then the green cards were flowing through, so he picked up an Arrogant Worm and a Grizzly Fate and a Yavimaya Elder, and he's also sort of 3-color-ish, trying to figure out, okay, what does my team need me to draft? What's the right way to draft this?
All right, so here's Paul's second
just
pick.
opened another Battle Screech.
Wow, another Battle Screech.
But he'd given up on a white. Like, the Battle Screech was in the sideboard a minute ago.
Okay.
Anyway, what's Paul got?
All right, so
the Dream Pod Druid we talked about.
Yes, he does have the Dream Pod Druid, but it looks like he's moved off of green as he's moved the Hermit over into the sideboard as well. And there's even an Elephant Guide in this pack too, Randy. Pretty nasty. If he wants to stick with black, there's no great options. Kezardrix is okay, but certainly not a premier card here. If he wants to take blue, Ophidian, Circular Logic, something like that, there's nothing really great. This pack's actually very disappointing for Paul.
Given that he's blue-black, and it looks like he is sticking to blue-black.
Yeah, maybe
that's got to be a team-driven decision there. Kezardrix is so far below the other cards in that pack.
Here's a Future Sight, but there's also decent black cards over there with Fallen Ascari, Death's Head, Buzzard, Chainer's Edict. Even a Nightscape Familiar can be good if he is going to actually be in blue. He's moved the Benevolent Bodyguard to the board, but kept the Karmic Guide there. Maybe hopeful.
The Imperial Armor's a good card, too. If, again, the Green-White Aura's deck is available for somebody.
What do you like here? I mean, he's taking it. It looks like he's trying to go away from blue once again. I don't know if I like the Edict here. I really like.
It's the best card there.
I mean, so the problem is that the Chainer's Edict's really good against some decks.
I like the Future Sight.
Yeah, I take Future Sight myself.
Yeah, but Future Sight's really good.
Oh, he took it. Sweet.
He did take Future Sight.
Oh, he got a Plea for Power here. Unfortunately, Plea for Power, while really flashy, it ends up being a draw 3, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. But, like, for example, we see Deep Analysis out of the next pick. The next pack here, which I think is probably just better than Plea for Power. So Paul's got 4 creatures so far.
Yeah, I like the
getting a little
pick.
concerned here.
Like, if he's going to have a bunch of removal, he's going to have, like, Chainer's Edicts and Night Stalkers. Hitting them with Ophidian while you're, kill their guy, attack with Ophidian. Kill their guy, attack with Ophidian. If you can get that put together, I think that's how you win with blue-black.
Yeah. Also, his curve is horrible right now.
Yeah, Paul's
deck is not good. He's got 3 5s and 4 4-drops, which is bad.
This looks
He's
like
got a lot of work to do.
This looks like the deck of someone who is helping his teammates draft. That's what this looks like to me.
So he's going to take one of the 2-drops here. I think Fledgling Djinn is better than Fallen Ascari, but they're fairly interchangeable.
He took Frantic Search. He didn't take either of them.
Oh, really?
Well, I think he told Sean Plott to be mono Carnophages. Sean's green-white? Wow, it sounds like Sean Plott's actually on green-white. But then I'm with you, yeah. I think you take like a Fledgling Djinn there. You got to attack with something.
Yeah, he can take an Aquamoeba here or a Paralyze. I think he needs stuff early. Like, this format punishes you very hard if you don't have stuff early. And he's got a Chainer's Edict, which is okay, but it doesn't work very well against the Tokens deck, which is really going to be his downfall here. There's a Mind's Desire. That's interesting, but not great for him. Kenai even maybe, Rescind. Like, he's got some options. Again, nothing really exciting. This deck is just not really cooperated.
Well, I mean, he bounced around. He's been in 4 different colors over the course of this draft. And he settled into the worst 2 of the 4.
Indeed. And he still stubbornly has that Karmic Guide down there just in case he can make it work.
Is he reanimating it, maybe?
Could be.
Not that that's come together either. No. Yeah, I would Dark Ritual here.
Sure.
Did he take...
None of these are doing much for him.
Yeah, this format can be pretty aggressive. Wow, Reviving Vapors. He's got the Death's Grasp in there as well. He's looking 3-color. How is Dream Pod Druid
still there?
What is going on?
Oh, man.
How does Dream Pod... I haven't seen Dream Pod Druid table since, like, the first week the format was
I just saw Brian David Marshall curl into the fetal position on the ground. I think he's crying. That is...
Wow.
Get that Skywing Aven. That card's fine. No.
Mystic Zealot's quite good.
Oh, I don't like that at all. Why is he white? How is he playing white?
I mean, Death Grasp and Karmic Guide are both very good cards.
I like Death Grasp, sure. But Karmic Guide, like, that has 2 white mana symbols. He's playing
Oh my
Future
goodness.
Sight.
You know where that Dream Pod Druid ended up?
Where?
Mike Turian's deck.
No.
Armor of Thorns, Elephant Guide, and he got like 11th pick Dream Pod Druid.
Wow.
There's a Flame Tongue Kavu. He's getting paid off for abandoning white. Like, Mike took first pick Battle Screech. That's the only card in his sideboard right now. He declined the first pick Battle Screech out of the second pack, and he settled into like a red-green aggro that has, somehow he's in red-green auras.
Wow.
Mostly he's in green auras, plus, like, you know, Goblin Patrols, Flame Tongue Kavu. Yeah, Mike's deck came together pretty nice, actually. Sounds like there's a green-black auras deck floating around the table as well. I don't know why that
Don't
deck
think I've
didn't
seen
take.
that one.
Well, look, I mean, there's enough auras in green. Spinal Graft?
No.
Funny.
All right, here we go. The third pack. For Paul, he's got a Swords to Plowshares here, and he seems okay with playing white, though I don't know how he's casting these spells. Like, I'm looking at his deck, and I see 3 relatively even split colors here, and his fixing is almost non-existent. He has 1 Bad River. This could get pretty sketchy as far as actually resolving things go, but hey, it's a Swords to Plowshares. It's best removal ever.
Yeah, quite possibly. I know, look, it is a team draft. The decks, sometimes, like, your deck's a little bit worse. You just got to gamble with your mana and know that you stopped the other team from getting ridiculous cards. This is a good pack. Trooper is excellent in general.
Yes.
If he'd been in green, that Guy's Embrace would be exciting. But yeah, where he's at, he's looking at Counterspell. This 3-color mana base would be a lot easier to stitch together if it wasn't double, triple, double as well.
I mean, look at his 5s.
It's not like any of those are a splash.
Right. Yeah, he might have to give up on Future Sight if he wants to run it. Another Death Grasp. Interesting.
I mean, at this point, you have to, right?
No, you just take Marchesa and splash red. Like, go all the way, Paul. I think at this point I take Mesmeric Fiend, to be honest. Like, we need stuff to do in the early stages of the game.
I'm taking Death Grasp.
Yeah, I want some consistency out of this deck.
Yeah, I guess at this
Death
point,
Grasp is obviously a better card, but like...
But if you're consistently mediocre, what's the point, right? May as well gamble. No gamble, no future, Marshall.
You don't have to sell me on that one, I suppose.
Like, it'll work. You just have to hope it works out at this point. Like your mana, basically. It's not like Death Grasp is hard to cast.
That's such a bad strategy. Like, just hoping it works out.
When you're
he has choices.
You're in pack 3 of a team draft. You've sacrificed consistency for the good of the team to get into the underdrafted colors.
But what I'm saying is he can take picks that issue a little bit of power to get him some semblance of consistency. You know, there's a scale here he can turn the knobs on, and he's just like full 10 on inconsistency.
No, Death Grasp doesn't make him that much. Death Grasp is easy to cast relative to the cards in this deck.
Wow, another Mana Vault? But there's an Expunge.
And a Counterspell. Yeah, I don't think I would Mana Vault there.
I don't think I would either.
I mean, it's pretty good with the Death Grasps.
That is true. It is really good with the Death Grasp. And those go to players, too. But it's kind of a one-shot, right?
Right, it's only... I'm looking at where he's going to be sinking the colorless mana. Yeah, I would have, I think, expunged there.
Yeah.
Palinchron's not bad for him. Edict's not bad for him.
I kind of like Palinchron there. Like, with Mana Vault, he can get it out way early, and it's just a huge flyer.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you want to do with a Mana Vault, is you want to sink it into some big monster so that, turn 3, turn 4, you've got a giant threat in play.
Yeah, I think most people look at Palinchron and see it as like some type of combo piece. It's also just a very large flyer.
It's a large monster, and it's, once you get the mana, it's sort of free.
Is he going to go for the Sorcerer here to try to smooth things out, or does he want a little more top end with a Killer Whale? He's already got one in his board, so that's not going to be the pick.
Goblins are floating pretty late. It's a pretty late Goblin general. If somebody's putting a Goblin deck together, they're pretty happy.
And a Matron, for that matter. All right, he wants a little more removal. Wants to make sure that... he just puts it immediately in the board, though. Well, there's that Fiend. Oh, Aether Mutation.
Yeah.
You know he wants to take that.
If you can cast Aether Mutation, it is spectacular.
It sure is, but he can't. Fiend's a nice pickup, though. All right, he looks like he's trimming blue pretty hard here. All right, so maybe he is actually working his deck towards the point where it's...
Nightscape Familiar is a nice one.
Oh, that's good. There's another Goblin General, you mentioned that.
Yeah, no, if somebody
was there.
If somebody's got the Goblin archetype, the deck is floating. that's kind of the thing with the Goblin archetype too. That like I don't like to force it because it can be a trap. You know, you first pick like a War Chief or something. If somebody else is in the Goblin archetype, then you just don't get any cards. He's Aquamoeba over Repel. You don't get any cards for it. Right. So I like to draft Goblins when I get past Beetleback Chief. Like you get a third, fourth pick Beetleback Chief. Now you know it's open. Move in. The Goblins deck is great if you can get it.
Rites of Initiation still in the pack.
Yeah, that
he's
card. He's
got to breathe a sigh of relief.
Apparently nobody wants
knowing
it.
where that's going. Yeah, because that's one of the scariest cards in the format. That card just ends games. All right, so it looks like he's trimmed down a bit, but I am
not
really
any of the color.
To see.
I mean, he's just trimmed down to 23 spells is what he's trimmed down to.
Right, but I mean,
he's still double, triple, dollar.
Yeah,
double, triple, double.
I wonder if he's going to get rid of the Killer Whale in the Future Sight though, and be splashing.
Well,
blue.
He's cutting Future Sight. He's cutting Killer Whale because it's not that good. Future Sight is still stayed in the deck. He's basically got the best 23 spells across those 3 colors. His curve turned out pretty nice, like the late Chainer's Edict, the second Edict that came late, the late Fiend. He's actually in pretty solid shape from a mana curve point of view, I think.
He is indeed.
He's just, his colors are super inconsistent.
Yeah, the Nightscape Familiars are kind of interesting.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if he can cast the spells, he's in good shape. White is the splash color. And he seems like splashing for a Karmic Guide. It's just so powerful that he's willing to do that.
Yeah, I mean, he is a control deck. Like, he's looking to make the game go as long as possible here, so it's not like he has to play it on turn 5. Yeah.
And maybe that justifies the mana vaults. Like, they'll also flash back an Edict in a pinch.
Sure.
Like, he wants to get to 7 mana in this deck.
Yeah.
I might have liked Palancron.
I wish he had
deck,
that Palancron, man.
But,
I really wish he did.
Mystic Zealot, he's going to get to Threshold. I think that he stitched together, a serviceable deck here.
Yeah.
It's maybe not the most powerful deck if he'd been drafting just for himself.
But you got to figure he affected the draft
positively. Oh yeah, and we saw him literally running back and forth around the room, looking at his teammates' computers, trying to make sure that between them they had all the colors covered. Interesting.
And maybe even put the screws to one of his.
Yeah. Maybe can we take a look at Mike Turian's build? You can see where he wound up.
Now this is a separate pod, right?
No, he's in the same pod.
He's in the same pod.
As Paul. He was a couple seats away from Paul. So that late Dream Pod Druid that we saw go through wound up in Mike Turian's deck.
So
and the way Mike has built this, he's actually mono green at this point. He was toying with a red splash for Battle Screech. He was toying with a red splash for Flametongue Kavu. Yeah, he has Flametongue Kavu in his sideboard right now. But look at the curve in this mono green version of it, right?
Wow! I don't think I've ever seen mono green in Vintage Masters. That's fantastic. As he brings a Tangle to the forefront.
Well, the mono green version of it, you have, he's got a Tribute to Wild in there, 2 Nature's Lures, Brindleshote. He's sacrificing a little bit of card quality to get here, and, Croson Voreen is a little on the slow side in this format, in my opinion. I might be splashing. Don't you splash for Flametongue Kavu?
Yes.
Even if it's just...
Or Aether Mutation.
Singleton Flame... He could splash for Singleton Flametongue Kavu. He could splash for Singleton Aether Mutation.
What is he doing?
You could splash white for Battle Screech,
but
it's
double. Why does he have 7?
He's building a sideboard. These guys actually
because they need him in the board.
Yeah, if you ever... And so he's giving himself the ability to side in the white. He's giving himself the ability to side in the blue. He's giving himself the ability to side in the red. You can see that he sees all of those options. But, yeah, his Game 1 deck, he's just looking at the mono green version of it.
I definitely put FTK, Flametongue Kavu, in my deck here. It is such little downside putting 5 or 6.
I think he may have decided to agree with us.
Yeah, maybe he's listening.
I don't think he's listening, but I do. You can even play Cougar.
Yeah.
I think you play Cougar. He's got Croson Tusker to go get a Singleton land. Definitely
he's
splash
got Tusker,
the red.
yeah.
You definitely splash the red here.
Oh, look at that. He put the mutation in, too, now.
I like it. I think I like that.
Deep.
He's got a Tusker. He's also got how many Elders? He's got 2 Yavimaya Elders.
What?
Yeah, you definitely splash here. You just need 1 island and 1 mountain. You've got 3 ways to go get them with the 2 Elders and the Tusker.
Is he a real human being? This
no, he's not
deck
human.
Is ridiculous.
I literally got a text message from Chris Bakula an hour ago. We've been playing online board games together, and the message is just Mike Turian's not human.
Okay, so Chris Bakula answered the question for me. Thank you, Chris. Wow, this deck.
The current name of the game we're playing is Mike's Too Good. I like it. Splash everything.
All right, so it looks like Turian has...
Wow. Wow, yeah, the Singleton Flame Tongue, the Singleton Aether Mutation, I love it.
All right, so what's happening in the background there is that's Erin, I believe, showing Turian his deck.
Oh, no, they're switching seats.
Switching.
That's awesome. Mike is sitting at Erin's computer, and Erin has walked over to the feature match area to essentially double check Mike's build.
Right, and I think Ryan Spain over there on the left is helping Helen with her build as well. Yeah. This is one of the great aspects of this particular tournament, is that it's team on the big scale. You get to just walk around and help your teammates out.
Yeah. Lepore crouching next to Worth.
Yeah.
Can we pull up Helen's deck? That'd be awesome to see what Ryan and Helen have put together over there. Erin's staring. Erin's going to love the Singleton Splat.
I have Helen's deck up on the red zone. I think there was some question about how Helen was going to do in this format. She doesn't play a lot of Magic, but her deck is capable of killing some people. She's got 3 Chain Lightnings. She's got lots of early Goblins, Drill Sergeants, Matrons, a General, the Vortex. Beetleback Chief on turn 2. Fire Blast going around. I would like Giant Strength in her deck, maybe over the Chartooth Cougar.
I would play Prospector. I like Prospector. Spark Spray is pretty good too. Oh, she's got 2 Prospectors.
Yeah, she's got.
All right, I don't know about third Prospector. Does she have?
She has
1 General.
Yeah.
Oh, the Settler.
The Goblin Settler. That card's mean. They never see it coming. Look at that card.
Only 13 creatures. Still, that deck looks great.
This deck is
awesome.
Sweet. Now, did she get a rights? No rights.
She didn't get rights.
Yeah, so that's the one card you really want to see.
It's an uncommon. She may be at the other pod. Mm-hmm. May not have been opened at her table.
Yeah. There's Frank Lepore and Sean Plott helping each other out. You can see Graham. He's helping us with coverage. Graham Stark there.
Deck, Marshall.
I probably will like Ryan Spain's deck, just based
here
on the fact that he built it.
I'm just guessing that you're going to like this deck.
You got one for us?
I do. You get a look at Ryan Spain's double Psychoton, triple Ophidian, double Mana War.
You drafted my deck!
Double Fallen Ascari, double Fledgling Djinn.
3 Carnophages and a Sarcomancy in the one slot.
2 Mana Fixers? This deck is unbelievable.
He's even got the Underground Sea to get with the Bad River.
He's also got the Choking Tethers, which is,
2 Mana War.
Fireball in this deck.
3 Ophidians? That deck looks great.
He drafted my deck. This is the
dream, right?
This is all I ever draft in every format. Wow.
I mean, is it fair to say that Ryan is your draft mentor?
He absolutely is.
So.
He taught me. Now, but interestingly, this is not his style. I mean, he'll play anything, but he didn't teach me that part. I came across that on my own. I taught him this. Because, I do draft videos, and he watches them. He still, he likes to stay in touch with the whole thing. And
for people who don't know the backstory, he helped you found the podcast, right?
Yeah, him and I founded Limited Resources together, and he taught me how to play. He taught me how to play Magic. He taught me how to play Limited.
But then when he took a job in R&D, sort of walked away from the podcast.
Right, he wasn't allowed to do it anymore, so then I had a new host, John Laux, who then also went into R&D, and then I got Brian Wong, who I'm with now. But, yeah.
Sensing a pattern there.
Yeah. Yeah, people call the show... what they call it, human resources now.
Right.
So.
Nice.
Randy, when you first saw Vintage Match, were you surprised at how rarely you see Brainstorm get played in decks?
A little bit. I mean, the thing is, without fetch lands to reshuffle away the cards, it's just not as powerful as you think it is. Right? It's super amazingly powerful if you have reshuffle effects. And sometimes you have them in this format, but it was a card. If you don't, then it's just like draw a card. Like if you're not going to win the game this turn, then you were going to get to those cards anyway. You just have to redraw them.
Yeah, you need the land cyclers to fill the role of fetch lands, and it just gets a little weird.
Wow, Ryan's deck is nice. Turian's 2 Singleton Splashes did seem to survive Erin Forsyth's inspection for the record.
Of course they did. Are you kidding me?
He's probably trying to pull that. What is that card called?
Erin Forsyth is always doing a flavor draft. Right? You know what I mean?
2 Yavimaya Elders and a Crothan Tusker to splash mutation, Flame Tongue. That's awesome.
Selvala doesn't make the cut, even Erin Forsyth.
Well,
even with the grasslands.
sure. Well, he's too busy casting Fintorn Elves and Basking Root Well on turn 1. Yeah, Nature's Lore. Too bad he doesn't have any dual lands to go get with the Nature's Lore. That's a nice combo in this format. I was talking about Mike Durian's deck.
We'll take a look
Just
back at it, see how
enjoying it. It hasn't actually changed, but...
we'll see how the final build ended up.
Yeah, the team nature of this is awesome. These guys are down to the last minute, though, right? The clock counting down.
Yeah, they have. He's already submitted his deck.
Right.
Why don't we take a quick look at Cheon Day 9?
Hot.
See what he did. I know that Paul was, talking. Cheon has not done a lot of Vintage Masters drafts, and he ended up with the green-white aura deck. Below there are some auras that you can't see, sort of below the line there.
Oh, okay.
There's 5 auras.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So I guess the 2G one is an Elephant Guide. Oh, he got the Guy's Embrace.
He did get the Guy's Embrace.
A couple Elephant Guides, a couple probably the...
I think that's Brilliant Halos.
Brilliant Halo? That makes sense. Yeah, 1, 2... Is that 2 Dream Pod? No, 1 Dream Pod Druid.
Yeah, unfortunately the other one's a Brindle Shoat with Dream Pod Druid markered onto it.
Sean's also going with Krosan Voreen. I mean, Krosan Voreen, when you play Vintage Masters Sealed, I find it's all about the Krosan Voreen. In the draft, it can be a little faster, and the Voreen can be a little slow.
But like with a Brilliant Halo,
anything. Basically, the combo is, and the Deathblade Elite you see it in the one drop has the same combo. If you have a provoke creature that can essentially force something to block, and then you're able to enchant it, so it's just kind of bigger than it should be. All of a sudden, you're just like, eat that creature, force that creature to block, kill it, force that creature to block, kill it. Just a super powerful combo to have. Right. So creature enchantments pumping up your provoke creatures.
So yeah, Brilliant Halo, Armor of Thorns, double Elephant Guide, it looks like. Nice. And then the Guy's Embrace that you mentioned.
Yeah,
also,
that's a great deck.
I see that he's got triple Soltari Emissary, and anything that costs 2 mana, has 2 power, and either has or can get Shadow. I am interested in this format.
Absolutely. Trooper and Emissary are super scary. It's hard for people to deal with.
Yeah, he's got 4 essentially unblockable creatures, and that can just do it. Like, if your opponent is trying to dirtle around or try to set up a couple of cards or whatever, you can just run them over.
Yeah, the other key card to this archetype in my mind, he's got in the 1-drop slot there, is Benevolent Bodyguard.
I was just going to ask you about that. How many of those do you like in this deck?
All of them?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll play 2, I'll play 3. Depending on that, if I'm double Dream Pod Druid and a bunch of enchantments, I think you can play 3. Maybe you can even play.
If I had double Dream Pod Druid and a lot of it, I play up to 4.
Yeah. I mean, the idea being on turn 1, you put this guy in play. They can just protect whatever. Now you play your Druid. You put the enchantment on him. They have to kill it, or they just lose the game. Well, they go to kill it. No, sir. Protection from color.
And it's double. It actually works really well because the other way that you can lose your big creature is from an Edict effect, and it works against that as well. It's like,
I'll sack the Benevolent Bodyguard for the Edict.
That thing just takes one for the team, no matter what.
A very well-named card. Yeah. He's the bodyguard. Definitely.
Oh. Okay, so it looks like building's done. So how's it going to work, Rashad, for who we're going to be watching first and how we get to their match? They're going to pair it up, and then we're going to pick our feature like normal? Okay, so...
Yeah, they're going to do hand pairings and put these games together. So every match, it's not just like a normal Swiss. It's not like a normal draft where you just let the computer pair it. Basically, because every round is going to be Wizards versus the community. So it'll be as close to Swiss pairs as possible for the draft. But you know what? If the last 2 undefeateds are both community members, they're not going to get paired against each other. They'll both get paired down against Wizards players. Anyway, so it'll probably take just a couple minutes for these